Everyone, so I have done so many YouTube videos. I've tried to get my videos out there in the algorithm. Let's see if this one works. Today I am going to talk about why I'm never voting NDP again. And I just want to say, hi, I'm Jamie. I am the Freedom Pines on TikTok and the Five Pines on Instagram. I know. I really did the Freedom Pines thinking no one would ever find me. Like my neighbor's like, I see you on live. I'm like, oh. So yeah, I think that people know who I am. But I will say that I voted NDP. So this is where we're starting. I voted NDP since I was 18. I am 31 right now. I have had a child since I was pregnant at 19. And I will say that through the time Harper was in, I was adopted. So I was adopted at 16. I was a single mom at 19, and then I went to college and put myself through school after I had my daughter. All of that happened to me. I was a marginalized person, okay? I was not living with my mom after the age of 16. I was then diagnosed with ADHD. Okay, so all of the accounts of the left, I am a marginalized person, and I can tell you that I did better under Harper because I was more empowered and had the capability to make decisions for myself because the economy was so good that even back then, when I was making the decision to have my daughter, I thought to myself, you know what, we could eventually live in a house, buy a little house, and, live whatever. I could go to school. That was all on the horizon when I was 19. Now, I assume that if you get pregnant right now, you're not going to have the best time of your life. And you're going to be really worried about how everything's going to cost, blah, 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 because groceries insane, everything is crazy. So I have known for a long time about this elitist club. Okay, I was somebody who watched Subliminal Messages on YouTube in the 8th grade, and now I'm 31, so that was like the first year YouTube was really a thing, and I was watching conspiracy theories and subliminal messages and all these things, scaring the shit out of myself. I watched Zeitgeist at grade 12, and keep in mind I still believe in Jesus, like I'm a Christian. My parents never were. Whatever. I've had lots of conservative friends in my life, but one was very right wing, like very racist, very like just not a good person, like actually racist and actually not a good person. And I think it scared me a lot when I was on the left because I never voted. I loved Jack Layton. That was the first person I think I voted for. I knew that I didn't want to vote for Justin Trudeau, and I knew I didn't want to vote for Stephen Harper. I knew that they were part of this elite club and, they were going to usher in communism. Now I look back, I don't necessarily know, just because of how Pierre is. I don't know if Stephen Harper knew about this being really about globalism, communism, ushering in the fourth industrial revolution. I don't know if he knew that because all the things Pierre is saying right now is saying, hey, we made a mistake. This is a mistake. We're dropping out. We're going to let Canada thrive on its own for now, blah, blah, blah. So I don't know. Maybe in my brain of brains, I don't know. I don't know how life would look for us right now. I think it might have, I know it would be better if we had a conservative leader. And I am not opposed to social programs. I've seen them work in my life, but I just want you to know that even when conservatives are in, we have access to social programs because that's what Canada is. Like we'll have a lot of social programs that were done through like Ontario and like provinces and stuff like that. And I, as somebody who has been poor enough to receive food donations and like gift cards and stuff, I can promise you that when you are poor in Canada, and I've also worked in places where I've done that for other people, so I can promise you that if you're poor in Canada, most of the time people and businesses and the government and like all these different things, the school systems, everybody steps up and helps you out. I will say that, like, for the most part, like even if you don't know that and you're a poor person, like there are places where you can go to a toy drive at Christmas to make sure that you have enough toys, like have any toys under the Christmas tree and stuff like that. Those all happen, and they've been happening since conservatives were in, liberals were in. But this new brand, of liberalism is very much like we are going to attack. And I know people think that about Pierre, But I don't know if you know this, but Pierre has to be on the defense. Like, I have seen the most attacks Pierre has had to fight tooth and nail. And I don't give government usually any props, but Pierre has been very much handling the press well, who are paid off by Trudeau, who never question Trudeau the way that they question Pierre Poilievre, by the way, or Jagmeet Singh, who, by the way, knows nothing. I voted for Jagmeet Singh. The last election I didn't vote because my grandma was dying in a hospital, and really an election during a deadly pandemic, like according to even the left, is dumb. And I say deadly pandemic because that's what they were touting. How can you justify having a election during a pandemic? That's what I just don't understand, because who was paying attention? Like, that was all of the point where all of our fucking healthcare was cut. People were dying left, right, and center. Like, who had time to go and vote? They knew that. So to me, I've always looked at NDP and the Green as separate entities other than the World Economic Forum. Like, they're not part of it until they are part of it. They are part of it. Jagmeet Singh is on the website. I can link it below. And a lot of the NDP, I will say, I think are like me, where they were previously very worker driven. But here's the thing, is that are they worker driven? I don't know, because when Jagmeet Singh came out against the truckers, I was really like, really, you're against people being upset that you're mandating an injection into them? Okay, so you don't believe in workers' rights, okay? Because liberalism, for the longest time, really meant that, like, bodily autonomy, right? Very much bodily autonomy. And you know what I learned in school when I was a CYW was that if you open up the debate for bodily autonomy by saying mandating vaccines and stuff like that, you are opening up the pro-choice and pro-life debate. Because then we're going to talk about this. We're going to unravel it, because as soon as you take away people's rights to make a decision about their body, that's when the right comes in, is like, okay, you want to talk about this? Let's talk about this. And was that wrong? That was told to me over 10 years ago. And as soon as they mandated vaccines, look what happened. Roe v. Wade. I'm not kidding. Like, this is so unbelievably predictable. And I can't believe that the NDP, like, the only reason my eyes are open, by the way, is because when all of the Indigenous residential school stuff happened, I did a lot of research. First of all, I ran into roadblocks because the only Indigenous voices I've ever fucking heard are on TikTok. I've never seen a YouTuber that is like a very popular Canadian Indigenous talks about Indigenous problems that they are facing. Like, oh my gosh, what have they done? They have taken communities, like minority communities, used them as leverage to get ahead. Like, oh, we're going to help this. And then when you don't help those people, like, 9 years ago, you promised that there would be no boil water advisories in reservations. I'm sorry. That's so far from the truth. And I've seen him literally mock Indigenous women who are asking Justin Trudeau why there's mercury in their water. He literally was like, thanks for paying to come here. Bye. I can literally include the clip at the end. Like, and the fact that Justin Trudeau has done all of these things. Like, I watch House of Commons. I watch all of these stupid things. I am up to date on everything because on TikTok, I'm constantly putting out videos. I have seen them dismiss, like, the Conservatives are trying. They're trying to get down to why their ArriveChem scam happened. And then the NDP will just be like, okay, day adjourned. And then the Liberals will be like, day adjourned, bye. Day adjourned. And then the Conservatives will be like, no, we just asked you a question. And they will be like, day adjourned, bye. I can't talk about this. I have privileges. Literally, that's what it's called. Court, whatever the fuck, privileges. I can't say that. I can't talk about that. What? And the NDP's holding them up? I hope you know, NDP, that Jagmeet Singh has put you guys, like, we are the reasons. Millennials alone are the reasons why the NDP is where it is right now. Are you joking me? We believed in you. And now we can't even afford a home. I don't mean to sit here and rage bait, but, like, I moved 6 hours. I bought a house right after Trudeau was in. Right after Trudeau was in, we bought a house. The housing market was already insane. I was paying $200,000. I actually paid $195,000, which is insane right now for a house that probably should have been $135,000. Okay. Like, it had no AC, no internet, no cell phone service, in the middle of nowhere. And it was very dated, whatever. We got, in retrospect, we got a very good deal. We turned it around. We flipped the house. We made it great. And then we lived there for 6 years. It's not like we actually didn't plan on leaving until we realized that it was going to cost a lot more to put the upgrades on the house than we thought. It was my dream house. And then we thought, oh, well, since my grandma died from not getting the care she needed because the mandates work so much, and save lives, I was like, okay, let's go do the dream. Moving up north is a dream. I've lost my village is gone. Let's go do this. Let's go do this. I am done with Southern Ontario. So we sold our house and made triple, and bought up here. It was already starting to get kind of expensive up here, but our mortgage is very low, and we are very lucky because we got a locked in rate. But I can tell you that even though I can't even imagine if our mortgage was high, because every fucking thing else is high. And keep in mind, like I said, Justin and Jagmeet have the power to ensure, if they were going to do anything, they would have already done it. If they wanted to make our groceries affordable, they could put a bill through tomorrow. Conservatives have absolutely no say, and half of these programs that they've implemented have literally been money laundering schemes. And what does the NDP do? Sits there, crosses their arms, and lets it fucking happen. Like that "we were rooting for you" Tyra thing, like that's what this is. That's what this is. I was rooting for you, Jagmeet. I thought you were one of us. I thought the whole NDP was one of us. I will say, like, even Wab Kinew is a better leader than Jagmeet Singh, and he's actually seems like he is really NDP. He has been against the carbon tax. I respect him and most of the things he's done. I respect Danielle Smith and most of the things she's done. And we're getting there, okay? We still have Doug, who is I can't believe that he endorsed Chrystia Freeland. I get the chills go down my spine. What the fuck is that? What do you mean you endorse Chrystia Freeland, who told Canadians to take the bus and that she doesn't own a car because she's so good for riding her bike? And then we literally found out she has thousands of dollars worth of limo rides. Like, you can't make this shit up. And the left will just sit here and continuously make excuse after excuse after excuse. For what? For what? These people have done this before. Justin Trudeau his dad was in power when people were in residential schools all the fucking time. He had the ability to stop it. Jean Chrétien is still alive and has never had to apologize for his part in the residential schools. I'm telling you guys, this is the same fucking people. It's the same blood over and over again. It's literally like Harry. Oh, no, who's his brother? William. All of those people are part of the World Economic Forum and talk at the World Economic Forum. You don't think that they're not capable of colonizing again? And this is every single thing that the left is doing is ruining our lives. The bills that they put through, they literally, like, I started speaking out because I had two people steal from me. One was my friend, and she hired me for a job, and then she said she was going to pay me, never fucking paid me, blocked me, deleted me on everything. And then, I get a phone call from the police because I sent an email after it, because naturally when your best fucking friend ghosts you, you're going to send an email. And I'm not stupid. I was a CYW. I've had to worry about, being a single mom in that situation. I know how to handle things. My email was not, it was worded well. I was not mean, and you can still get the fucking cops called on you. But do you know who doesn't, who is prosecuted? Oh, people who steal from big box stores. That's the only time in Canada where the police do anything about it, where you actually get charged. Big box stores. I just don't understand how the left thinks, how liberals and NDPs, they think that, that this is going well. We all lived very And like I said, I was a marginalized person, okay? I have disability. I was adopted at 16. I was a single mom. I had everything going against me, and I was still able to thrive under Harper. And I am very much aware that Pierre could get in and say all the right things now and be an ass and not do what he says he's going to do. But trust me, I'll be on this fucking app calling him out because I think that globalism is wrong. I think communism is wrong. What do we need to get back to? We need to get back to roots. We need to get back to community. We need to stop telling people that they're going to have a better life in Canada when they actually aren't, when they're going to come here and probably be homeless. We need to stop immigration. We need to catch up with the people that we have here. We need to get healthcare going. We need to get schools fixed. That's a whole nother thing I'll make a video about, is why Canadian schools are so broken, because it's all of these liberal policies that have worked in other countries, but it seems like the left is taking these, embezzling money from them, not implementing any of these things, and just being like, well, if the Conservatives are in, they're gonna cut all these programs. What programs? What programs do we access? What, the child tax benefit? Because I got that when I was a single mom during Harper. And it fed me for an entire month. It fed me and my daughter for an entire month. It was less, but I needed less. I didn't need that much, and I got a $200. I found it the other day. My grandparents gave me back my stuff. I found my child tax benefit from back then, and then I found like the Ontario. We used to get an Ontario credit and a child tax benefit, and then we got another check for childcare, which was, by the way, half of my month of childcare. Like, I really just can't even. Oh gosh, they have destroyed our country. They have made us fight. They have made us hate each other. Jagmeet Singh goes on there and calls all of us Nazis when there is a literal Nazi in North Bay. A literal Nazi in North Bay. And everyone's like, you guys care about Nazis so much, Rachel Gilmore? Why are you not in North Bay wondering why the fuck a Nazi is here? Why? Why? If you think that Nazis are so bad and you're calling all these people neo-Nazis, well, there's a actual Nazi who drove people, who volunteered to drive people to a concentration camp. I seen people literally defending it. If that was Pierre, are you joking me? Like, the hypocrisy and all. And you know what? I will say that the Conservatives are not really, I would say the Conservatives in the States are very big on hypocrisy. Like, they don't want the left to usher in their stuff, but they really want their stuff in. I would say Canada before Trudeau was very center. Nobody fought about politics. Nobody, like, I guarantee, I think it was funny because my grandparents voted, my grandma was a very staunch conservative, and my papa was a very working class man, and back then, obviously, NDP was, like, his thing, and they would have two different signs on their front lawns, and that was the only time you, like, knew if someone was endorsing someone, was, like, lawn signs, because nobody talked about politics. And I listened somewhere on a TikTok yesterday that it said, because it's a very personal thing, like, and it is. I am only here because of very significant things that have happened to me. That's another thing. You guys really think that this is not because people are going through things? I don't know. Conspiracy theorists. These people are going through things and they want to make sense of why their life is so fucked up. And a lot of the things that people say are conspiracy theories, I'm like, this is fact. Like, they have taken over the world before. They're trying to do it again. And we're just falling for it. The left is falling for it. And I just don't understand it. Have you not researched, like, what happened to gay people with the AIDS epidemic? Like, they will use groups of people and exploit them, marginalize them, and then be like, oh, you're marginalized, we need to help you. We cannot keep doing this. I have been talking on TikTok for over a year. Last year, I tried to get an election. I literally, like, started Families United against Trudeau, and I was done. And we're still doing this. We're still doing this a year later, and we're probably not going to see an election. Every single time people are like, oh, there could be an election. No, there won't. Justin Trudeau wants power as long as he can. Jagmeet Singh's not giving up because his retirement's done. But congratulations to both of those idiots, because there will be such, and you know what? I don't want this. I don't want a blue wave to take over Canada. I want different voices. But when your voices are trying to ruin our lives, Canadians are done. I'm done. And that was my first video. And I told you guys I could talk for like such a long time without even stopping. So I hope I didn't say like. If I rewatch this and I'm like, ooh, I sound like a Valley girl too much, I don't know. I've been really practicing on not saying like, because I started TikTok a year ago and people were like, you are saying like a lot. And then I tried to really with my podcast, which is another thing I do, the Five Pines podcast on Spotify. Check it out. I have been really trying to be smarter, trying to be better with my speech and come across more clear. I went to school to be in television and then dropped out because I had a child. But you can just do whatever you want now because you can upload anything you want to YouTube. So I hope you guys have a great day. Like and subscribe if you like this. And yeah, hopefully Canada gets getting better soon.